And as I was listening to this, now Josh is like super silent. Like he's not saying anything, right? And so I went to question number 4. And almost every time I have a 3, I would call you guys, I'm looking at these questions. I went to question number 4 and I asked her, what impact does this have on your family? And she started to cry and she said, you have no idea. And I said, no, really, what impact does this have on your family? And she said, well, my husband thinks that I make it up. My husband thinks that it's not as bad as I really make it sound, and he thinks that I'm just not willing to help provide for the family income. And it's causing huge marital problems. So do you see how we're kind of little by little, we're peeling the layers? Do you understand? Of the onion until we're getting to this point where we have this core and we want to truly connect with the person and know where they're at, right? And so I went to question number 4, okay. I asked actually 2 questions on there and I said, what are the consequences, do you think? What are the consequences of you not solving this issue? Do you know what she said to me? She said, I'll probably end up getting divorced. And I said, over a cough. And she goes, but it's everything about the cough. It's all the, you know how marriage is, right? It's like what leads to other things, and those things lead to other things. And at this point, my brother was silent on the phone, right? He's silent. And so we talked about this, and I'm listening to her. Almost the entire 20 minutes was just connecting, just hearing her out, listening to her story, listening to what's going on, right? Now, just so you know, the entire time I am taking notes on my phone or whatever apparatus you have. But with Meredith's calls, every time I am taking notes. I'm writing their name, how many kids they have, what their names are, what's going on, what's happening in their life. I'm taking notes on this call. So the next time I call them, I can remember, right? So go to number 5, solution benefit questions. I simply asked her, how valuable would it be for me to show you in a 3-week period of time how to get rid of that cough? And she said, it would change my life. It would change everything about my life. And I simply said, you know what? I'm gonna send you some things. I want you to start working on it. I don't think it will work immediately, but I think in about 3 or 4 weeks, you should see some significant progress. And she's like, oh. I actually got the remedy from Boyd Truman, and it's awesome for a dry cough, right? It's awesome. He's incredible. What is it? It's, it's cinnamon and lemon for a dry cough. It's like, coughs are totally different. Some coughs they're dry coughs, some it's awesome. Anyway, okay, and it's a little bit more stuff, but let's move on. 5. Then this is my favorite question. I never, ever have a call that I don't ask it when I'm trying to really figure out where somebody is. It's the question that I asked you last week, Melanie, right? It's this exact question. And it simply is this. If you had a magic wand and you could wave your magic wand, what would a doTERRA business look like for you in your life if it was a magic wand? Now, so many people like to tweak this question. They don't like the magic wand thing. They think it's hokey, especially men. They're like, oh, the magic wand, I'm like, don't tweak it. This is the reason why we say magic wand is it's magic. Are magic wands real? No, they're not real. So what are we actually asking these people to do? Dream with me. Just sometimes they'll even say on the phone with you, well, I don't have a magic wand. I'm like, but if you did, well, magic wands don't really come true, Allyse. But if it could, you literally sometimes have to walk them. But if it could, if you had a magic wand that could come true, just if you waved it, what would it look like to you? What would doTERRA create for you? And what would your life look like for you? Right? And you know what she said? Sometimes I get answers like, well, I have an autistic son, and I can't afford to send him to this really expensive autistic school, and that's what I would do if I had a magic wand. Or I'd bring my husband home from work, so we could spend way more time together, and I'd retire him. Or, well, I've always had a dream that I wanted to support an orphanage in a third world country. That's what I would do with my magic wand. It's totally different. It's totally varied. It's across the board. but I've never had somebody answer what she answered, and it was so poignant and so painful, and this is what she said. Said, if you had a magic wand and you could just wave it and your doTERRA business could provide for you the lifestyle or whatever you want in your life, what would that look like? And she said this, that my husband would just love me. That's what she said. She's like, that's all she wanted. Just that my husband would just love me. And my heart was breaking, right? And my brother was still silent. Say much? And so I went to step number 6, okay? Now, at this moment, this leader and me, do we have a pretty good connection? Yeah, we have a good connection. She's opened up to me. I understand her. She's dreamed with me a little bit. She's told me her heart, what she wants most in her heart, right? That's all I did with Meredith's leaders. I got on the phone with them. I pulled up my phone. I looked at my step-by-step process, and I talked to her leaders. I just talked to her leaders. One of them was a single mom, totally struggling. You know, one of them was, it's interesting, it was at Christmas time. And the cool thing, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Do you guys mind? I'm jumping ahead just a little bit. The cool thing was, it was at Christmas time and she was super struggling with just money, single mom, Christmas. She had boys that were super great boys. They just had an incredible relationship. They'd been through quite a lot. And it was just one of Meredith's leaders, and I'm like, you know, you just need some Christmas presents for your boys. And she's like, well, Christmas isn't, I don't know if Christmas is going to happen. I don't really have any money. I'm like, no, Christmas is going to happen. All I did, I just sent her some Christmas presents for the boys. That's all I did. And she showed up for her business like you've never seen. She hit her rank. And I just sent her some Christmas presents. That was it. It was not that hard. And it's not one of those things that you would naturally think, well, step number 7 in Find a Builder, send Christmas presents. Do you know what I mean? You have to actually connect with people and get to know where they're at, and it takes some time. It might take the majority of your call. So, next. Number 6, find how best to support them in their doTERRA business. So now I usually say, and this is what I said to her, and I said, okay, I think I understand where you're at, right? You have another job, you're working on a farm, you're nervous about next week, this cough is constantly bothering you. All you want is to be healthy and to be able to make some money so that you can be able to provide and help provide for the family, so that it feels more balanced and your husband and your relationship is better. Is that correct? And she goes, yeah, that's exactly what I want. And I said, I'm really clear on what your goals are. And I want to help you reach those goals. But I have a few questions I need to ask so that I can help you. Now at this point, you've already connected. They are more than willing. This is when you talk for just a little bit. And up until that point, literally, my talking was only one sentence here, one sentence there, a word here, and then her, minute after minute after minute after minute, right? That's how this call should go. That's how you connect. So, I asked her the first one. Now these, you go through every one. I should probably say that so it's more clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you can kind of choose which ones fit. This one, you go through every one. Number 6. Would you like to supplement or replace your income? Ashley, jump up here. I'm going to do this with you. Come on up here. Steve just got off the hook. Okay, Ashley, I'm gonna walk through these questions with you, okay? She's like, all I wanted to do was ask a simple question, Allyse, a while ago. Okay, ready? You're gonna use this mic. Is that okay? Okay, here we go. So, Ashley,
not a fear of mine or anything.
We're gonna get over it. We're gonna overcome this fear. Okay, so Ashley, and this is what I did with the leader in Canada. So Ashley, would you like to supplement or replace your income?
Yes.
Which one? Would you like to? I love it. Whatever. Both of them. All of the above. Would you like to supplement or replace your income?
Replace.
Okay. So she says replace. The builder, Josh's builder said, well, I don't know. I think I want to supplement. So whichever they ask, supplement or replace, you just go to the very next question and you say, what does it mean to you to supplement or replace? Now, it's hard to ask somebody, so how much money are you making right now? Right? Do these questions sound familiar, Melanie? Very. It's hard to say, how much money are you making right now? What you're trying to get at is, what is it going to take for them to reach the goal that they have in their mind? You just want to make sure that you can help them reach their goal, whatever's in that mind of theirs. So, Ashley, what would it take to replace your income?
Like monthly?
Sure.
About $15,000 a month.
Okay, so she says $15,000 a month to replace her income, okay? Now, I was on a call just a little while ago with a guy in Mexico, and we were going through this exact call. It was hilarious. What would it take for you to, and he wanted to replace his income. What would it take for you to replace your income? $4,350. What was he basically saying to me? That's exactly what he makes, right? Now, what I found is this. Most people won't just give an answer like that. You have to actually bait them. And it goes something like this. So I'm on that call and I said, what would it take for you to supplement your income? And I say, is it $500? Is it $750? Is it $1,000? What would it take for you to supplement? And so you get kind of clear on, and she might say 5, she might say 750, she might say, well, 3,000. And you're like, whoa, okay, that's a big supplementation, right? But you say nothing.
Ask you the question and you just tell her.
Yeah. So you kind of say those, and then she'll give you a response back, okay? And you write it down. That's all you do is you write it down. When I'm in Slovakia, it sounds like this. You want to supplement your income? What is that? What does that mean to you? Is it $100? Is it $150? Is it $200? Do you understand how you tweak this? Right? Okay. So next question. So now we know she wants $15,000 a month and she wants to replace her income, okay? Now, the next question, by when would you like to reach this income goal? I asked this to Josh's builder and it was something like, I don't know, she said $500. No, actually it was more like $1,000 and I wanted to reach it within 6 months. So by when would you like to reach this income goal?
I'd say 12 months.
Okay, 12 months. So she says $15,000 in 12 months. Never say anything like, yeah, so would I. Don't say this on the phone, right? All you do is you write it down. This is not the time where you're trying to get really super, what's the word I'm looking for? Realistic with them. Thank you. This is not where you're gonna, there is a time where that will come, but it's not on this first call. You're just getting information from them, okay? So, by when would you like to reach this income goal? She says in 12 months, okay? And usually I throw out, so in 3 months, in 6 months, in 12 months, in 24 months. I love it when people say, well, I don't know, what's realistic, like 2 months? And you're thinking, okay, 2 months, you know what I mean? Okay, next. How many hours per week would you be able to commit to your doTERRA business in order to reach your goal?
I'm an anomaly, so I'm gonna say 80 hours a week is what I do now.
Okay, so 80 hours a week in 12 months, and she wants to replace 15,000. Are we clear? Okay, that's all I need. Thank you. You can go sit down. Now, his leader said something different, and I wrote it down. The calls I love is like this. I love these calls. It goes like this. So would you like to replace or supplement your income? I'd like to replace it. How much money does that mean to you? Is that, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000? Well, about maybe $30,000. Okay. So you write it down and like, by when would you like to replace this? By when would you like to reach this? You're like, oh, I got a good 3 months. Great. Write it down. No. And this is my favorite one. How much time are you willing to put into your doTERRA business in order to reach this goal? A solid 7 hours a week. Great. $30,000 a month in 3 months, 7 hours a week. All right. I don't say anything. I say nothing. Or sometimes they'll say, well, what do you think is realistic? They'll be like, what do you think is realistic? Like 90 days? I'm like, well, we'll talk about realistic later, but tell me what you're thinking in your mind. All you want to do is you want to get out of their head, like, what their expectations are. I'm gonna give you an example. A lot of people, this is a telltale sign of who you're working with and where they should be placed in your organization. If they say, I really want to make about $250 a month. I've got time, 12, 18 months to do it in. And I have 5 to 7 hours a week. Is this a frontliner for you? See how clear this becomes? As you work through this process, it becomes very clear. Or if you have Melanie that says, I'm not even going to say what you said. She's like, please don't, Allyse, please don't. Actually, Melanie, when you listen to Find a Builder, I shared a lot about you. Not the last call. The last call when we just closed it. You're not on there, the last call. Actually, I told Melanie when I first started talking to her, I'm like, Melanie, I want to use some of these calls for training purposes. She's like, fine. I don't think she realized to train 25,000 people. It's good. She's going to get to know you guys because we have some cool plans, huh, Melanie? All right, here we go. So, you ask these questions. And then you simply go to step number 7. Don't try to talk to them and don't try to manipulate any of their answers. Just write them down. And then you simply say, I think I understand what your goals are and what you're wanting. This is what I say, actually. This is a script, and then when you know it, I just say, I'm super clear what your goals are and what you're wanting, and Melanie, I want to help that come true for you. I would like to schedule a call in 3 days that we could go over a specific business plan. A specific business plan so that I can show you how to reach those goals with doTERRA. How does Tuesday sound? I have never had anyone say, I'm not interested. Never. It's never happened. Ever. Sometimes we've had connections and problems getting on the second call or something has happened, but never on the call have they said, I'm not interested. Because why? Why would they not be interested?
It's their dreams you're helping come true.
That's right. They just barely opened up to me. We had a connection. They're loving talking to me. They would love to talk to anyone who listens like that and connects with them. Does this make sense? Many people have never even felt this before, maybe in their whole lives. They have this connection and they say, I totally get where you're coming from and I love that dream and I want to help that dream come true. Can we schedule a call and have a specific business plan on how you can reach that? First of all, people in their mind go, a specific business plan. That's exactly what I need. That's what I want. That's what I don't know how to do. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, I don't know how to do a specific business plan, right? Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do it on the next call, okay? So, we make this business so much harder than it needs to be. It's not that hard. So I just say, can we set it up? And they say yes. And so I never, ever give them a specific business plan that day, ever. Like Meredith was saying, there's 2 calls. It's 2 calls. So don't call them on the last day of the month because you want them to buy a kit right then and sign them up and try and push them into it. It doesn't work as well that way, people. You have to give them about 2 or 3 days to sit on it and chew on it. And what starts happening in those 2 or 3 days is something magical. They start thinking, if I really could get my boy into that autistic school, I would work harder. I would put more time than I even told her. Or I would be more patient if I knew it really worked. Or I could even make a little bit less and I could get by and it would still work if I could make a little bit less than what I told her. Do you understand what I'm saying? They actually get realistic themselves. And then they get really excited. Sometimes, if I'm having a bad day and I just want to feel better about myself, I will literally stay on the call and just mute myself. See what they say? Because you're on a 3-way call, right? And I usually say, okay, I'll talk to you in 3 days. You guys can keep talking. It was so great, getting to know you. But we're not done with the call yet. I still have a couple more steps. And then I jump off the call and they go, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. That was incredible. I'm so excited. This is, and that's almost always what the reaction is after the call is over. That was so amazing. And people, guess what? I did nothing. I didn't even talk very much. Usually I do like 3 minutes of the 20 minutes of talking. I literally did nothing. I just listened and asked a set of magical questions where they open up and tell me what their dreams are, and I set up another appointment for how we can reach them. Are we clear? That's all the call is. It's all the call is. Now, next. Number 9. You're going to reverse edify the leader on the phone. So I don't want every single 3-way call that I have for people to be like, let's say Ashley brings me a leader, and Ashley's really excited, and Ashley says how amazing Allyse is, and her leaders are not, let's say it's not a leader, let's say it's a potential builder, okay? And they're not signed up yet. And they get off the phone and they think to themselves, I think I want to be on Allyse's front line. That's bad, right? Because will your leaders ever trust you if you ever take their people that they bring to you on 3-way calls? That's the last 3-way call you'll ever do with them, right? So what you need to do is you need to reverse edify the person that just got you on the call, and it goes like this. Whatever you know about Ashley, whatever she does well, it doesn't even matter what it is. It goes like this. I just really quickly before you get off the call, I want to tell you how lucky you are to be working with Ashley. She is one of the kindest, most generous people that I know in this business. Literally, people matter more to her than money and business. She will bend over backwards for you just to make you happy. Lots of people in my organization would trade places with you in a heartbeat. You're really lucky to have Ashley. And usually they'll say, I know. I've known her for 10 years. She's amazing. Thank you for that clap right there. It's really important that you do that with your leaders, right? And you reverse edify them, whatever, and you do that every time. That's the last step. Now, you wait. You wait until the appointed time, and then sometimes you'll get text from the leader that got on, like, they're so excited. Oh my gosh, they're on fire. They're so excited, right? So you wait. Now, you tell me the reasons why you wouldn't just want to tell them the specific business strategy right then. Besides letting them, chew on it for a little bit. Can you think of any other reasons? Okay, hold on. Hold your hand up so I know, so I can hear. Yeah, right back here. Yeah, you told them I'm going to put a plan together for you. So it doesn't feel very customized if it's 60 seconds later, right? It's like McDonald's hamburgers. I'm going to make you a special burger. Homemade. Oh, the wrapping's still on it? Sorry about that. Right? That was the first time I ever used that joke and the last time. Yeah, right over here. That's right. They're totally continuing to dream as they wait, and they become more realistic, right? So the second part, yes, go ahead. That's perfect, because the magic really happens is when I get off the phone and they're talking to their leader, the person that brought them, and they're like, da-da-da, and they talk on it, because they trust that person because they know, but they respect me. Does that make sense? It's different. They trust them, they respect me. And so it's a beautiful thing when they start talking, right? Things start happening. Now, you jump back on the call 3 days later, and I want to tell you what the difference between passive listening and dynamic listening is. Passive listening basically means they're saying something, you're hearing it. They're saying something, you're hearing it. Dynamic listening means you have listened so well, and what I like to do, because I forget, I don't have a great memory, I write it down, and you actually bring up something from the conversation that they have said many times so that they know that you've been listening to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. Before I got off the phone with Josh's builder, I said to her, hey, I'm really looking forward to talking to you in several days, and I hope next week won't be as bad as you think it's going to be with the Cavs. What does this do to that builder's mind? How does that make her feel? She's not just a number. I was listening. I'm connecting with her, right? That we are connected. So the very next time you make a call and you get on the phone, what would be the first thing that you do? You reconnect with something that they told you. This is exactly what I did with Meredith's leaders. So I had written down names of kids, I'd written down situations, I literally had written down everything. And I got on the leaders call when we scheduled it, and I said, oh my goodness, how are your 3 little ones, right? It's Tobin, and it's immediately, where are we in the conversation? We are right back to where we were before, at a level of trust, immediately. Do you understand?